Hi everybody, it is Carrie, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I think I popped on a minute or so early, so let me just give y'all a second to get here. And I want to make sure I get on. So it always takes me a minute to get my computer set up where I can see what's going on. So give me just a minute for that. There's always a delay, and I am waiting. Patience is not my virtue, in case you've never met me before. It truly is not. Oh gosh, it's funny, but not so funny. Okay, all right. I still don't see me live, but that doesn't mean that I'm not. I don't see anybody on yet. So there we go. Now I'm on. All right, cool. So I am very excited to be here with you. Like I said, there is a slight delay. And my name is Carrie. I'm your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. MemoryInkers.com is my website, and so that does sometimes confuse people, but that's who I am. So feel free to ask questions, but my computer is over there, and I can't always see your questions right away, but I will answer right away. As soon as I get like over there or see them, or right after the show, after this event, I will go back and check. So first of all, thank you so much for watching. I love these volume events. Oh my gosh, I have just been having the best time, and I hope that Kate continues with them forever. So that being said, today we are going to talk about the awesome Stamparatus. I know some of you purchased this from me in the past, and I know you're looking forward to a refresher course on this, but if you have not yet found a stamp positioner that really makes you happy, hi everybody, I see some people popped on. Awesome. This is the one for you. So before we start, I want to show you what you get. So when you order your Stamparatus, you're going to get this base piece. Underneath, it has a place for 2 magnets. Mine have washi on them, so I'm going to just put them over here so I don't lose them. And they are earth magnets, so they're very strong. You're also going to get this foam piece. This piece is actually when you put it in when you're using photopolymer. If your stamps are the red rubber with the foam, then you can take this out. You get 2 of these awesome hinged plates. One can go on the side and one can go at the top, or whichever direction you're doing it. I'm only going to be using one of the hinged plates today. So I'm just going to set this one over here just so you guys are aware that it does come with 2. But the thing that's cool about these plates is, as you saw, you can lift them in and out. You can use both sides. So you really have 4 sides to play with. And because of this removable foam, you can put foam-backed stamps on one and photopolymer on the other, and all you have to do is you can use them both simultaneously. It's awesome. All right, so let us talk about some of the fun things we're going to be using today. I have some stamping spots here. These are ones I've collected over time, but I grabbed these because these are the ones that come in the Stamparatus spot assortment. I tried to write everything down here. I'm hoping you can read it. If not, we will have it. This is the order shortcut. It's kind of that weird thing from Bitly. It's the one Kate has posted, though, if you're looking. Or you can go to MemoryInkers.com, which is my Stampin' Up! Website, and just remember to use this hostess code NDFX4CGC in order to get credit for this specials that I'm doing. So I'm going to pull all of these out because we are going to use them, and I love my Stampin' Spots for my Stamparatus. You can use a full-size ink pad, that's totally fine. But for the Stamparatus, it's just a lot of fun and a lot easier. So we are going to start with a very simple technique. I'm trying to not show you my surprises until I actually do them. So the first one I want to teach you is probably everybody's favorite. It is called hinge step stamping. Sorry, I forgot to grab my small grid paper over here. You don't necessarily need this, but I like to keep it on there just in case I make a mess. So I'm going to set my paper on here. You can set it anywhere you want. You can even set it in the corners if you want to. And then I'm going to be using the awesome Frosted Gingerbread stamp set. This stamp set does come with a bundle with dies. So, and if you bundle it, it's $48.50. But right now we're just going to be using the stamps. So this is what I want to do. And this is where it can get a little confusing. This is called, I think I said, hinge step stamping. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to grab one of my magnets and just hold that in place for me. And then I'm going to start this time with this cute little ornament in the center. And of course with the grid paper, if I center my grid paper, then I know that this is the center of where I'm going to want that little ornament. So I'm going to put it like right there. And then I'm going to take my hinge, and rather than set it right like that, I'm going to scoot it all the way over here, so that when I come down and grab it, there's some space here. All right, it's going to make sense to you in just a minute. Then I am going to start with my Daffodil Delight Ink. And look at how nice it is when you're using the spots. You can just tap, tap, tap. And these can be re-inked with the re-inker, so you don't have to worry about that. And then you can just come and press down. Now, let me tell you a tip. Go and get yourself a dry erase eraser. And then you can press, and it's a lot easier on your fingertips. And then see, I have a boo-boo. This is why you want a stamp positioner, because it lets you get where you messed up. Now that still looks a little light to me. No, I didn't plan this. This is just what happens. So I actually put the yellow in a spot I didn't want it, but that's okay. So now we've got it right there, right? I'm going to leave the paper where it is. I'm going to grab, I take our little chamois, and I cut mine into pieces. This is our little cleaning chamois. It's just used with water. And then you scoot it back into place. And then the next color I'm going to use is Granny Apple Green. I really meant for this yellow to be on one of the sides, the Daffodil Delight, but you know, things happen. And I'm going to stamp it right there. Now see how that just moved it over? The great thing about it is these stamps, these images are going to be in the exact same spot as far as height goes. Every time I'm doing a live, every time, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Those of you who watch me on my Facebook channel, this is ridiculous. You know that I laugh all the time when I'm doing my lives, because it seems like I just don't know what it is. It's not me, but it's me. All right, so we're going to let that go. That's all right, because I'm going to show you the finished product. Then I'm going to move it over to here, and I'm going to ink it up in real red. And press again. And there we go. Now you can see how it made them all even. Let me show you the finished card, because you're going to appreciate that better anyway. Here is the finished card that I made. And you can see I actually had the yellow and the green on the side. And then these are done with by cutting them out with the dies. For this one, I just stamped the yellow and then stamped the Pretty Merry Christmas right over it. But I want to show you a fun thing. What if you want to have something hanging? And this is a little harder for you guys to see, but this is hanging inside my card. This is one piece of paper. You can stamp it twice, cut it out, and glue them together, but that's one piece. let me show you how you get that awesome reverse image. So I am going to, I'm going to move this over to right there for now. And then I am going to take my silicone craft sheet. These are in the catalog. They're only $6, but I do have a special. Those of you who know about Celebration know that with Celebration, when you spend $50, you're going to get to pick something from the awesome Celebration catalog, which is so awesome, which you can see on my website at memoryinkers.com. But I am also going to give you a silicone mat when your order is $50 or more. The Stamparatus is $49. So, you know, buy some grid paper and you're golden. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. So here is the silicone mat. This works best if your little stamp pad, Stampin' Spot, or your ink pad is nice and juicy. And I'm really pressing it because I really want that image onto my silicone mat. So it's kind of hard to see, but it is there. And now I'm going to carefully set down this piece of paper over it. I don't want to smear it. And then I'm going to ink it up again. Press down. See what's fun? You can see where I have little ink all over, but it's not going to get on there because the stamp positioner isn't going to let you do that. Now, I had too much yellow. Oh, you know what I did? I grabbed two different colors. That's so funny. But now it is front and back. That looks funky weird because I didn't clean it. Actually, it's kind of pretty. But now it is on there, and if I were to cut it out, it would be exactly front and back, just like this card here. Exactly in the same spot. So that is kind of a fun thing to do, to be able to quickly reverse an image. And then to clean this, you can run it under your sink or you can just wipe it down. So that is two of my favorite techniques. I have a lot of favorite techniques with the Stamparatus. It is probably the coolest tool. My biggest tip for the Stamparatus is if you have one, leave it handy where you can grab it. Okay, now there are a couple of other fun ideas, but I want to show you one that I think you're really going to like. And everybody who orders the Stamparatus or spends $50 with me is going to get a copy of this. This is a photocopy of a grid that I made for you guys, and I'm going to show you how to make a circle card. How do you make an image go in a complete circle? So let's do that. And I need a flower. I'm going to use the flower from the Daisy Lane stamp set. We do have punches that will punch out these adorable daisies, but I'm going to use this flower. Let me move that before it gets lost and it doesn't have a home anymore. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to move this over here so that you guys can see a little better. This is the 4x4 inch, and it's marked on here for you, so you can do different sizes. This works best with the 4-inch size, which you then can put on a regular size card, or you can make a square card. So I'm going to start it right here, and then I'm going to take my little daisy, and I am going to flip her right there. She's in the center, and whoops, she's sticking to my finger. And I want to make sure I have it on the square. All right, I do. Grab one of my magnets, reach down and pick up my daisy. Now this one, I am going to do Daffodil Delight twice. So let me show you how that's done. Okay, so there's one. I'm going to do a complete turnaround like that. I'm going to do the Daffodil Delight again. Okay, and then I'm going to clean this, although I'm starting with the lightest color, so I really probably could just keep going. And I'm going to spin it now so that my two daisies are on the sides. And I'm going to grab the Flirty Flamingo. And remember, I am using the colored spots that would come in the Stampin' Spot assortment. If you're just getting started, these are a great way to have some fun colors to use with your projects. Okay. Again, turn it all the way around. And I will show you a couple of different finished cards using this technique. There are a lot of things you can do with this grid, just so you know. I'm just showing you one of them. Now what I'm going to do, is I am going to turn it to the blue diamond shape. Does the grid paper come with those squares? Yes, it does. It comes on a pad like this. Okay, sorry, I just saw that. I clean the silicone mat by just wiping it down or rinsing it. Also, it's really good for glues, like your liquid glues, and you let the glue dry and it'll rub right off. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so again, with the magnet, and this time I am going to use, I think I'm going to go ahead and use Real Red again. You probably shouldn't leave your spots upside down. It's just easier when I'm stamping to do that, to have them like that. Okay, and then I'm going to spin it again backwards, so it's the opposite side, right? So I'm doing this pretty fast, so I'm hoping you guys can follow this. But can you see what's happening here? I mean, that's pretty just like that, really. Now I'm going to go to the other, take off the red, or at least most of it. Then I'm going to grab Gorgeous Grape. It's a very pretty purple. And like I said, when you order, you will get a copy of this. Super easy to use, and you can go back and look at this video later because I only have 30 minutes. It'll also be posted on my Facebook page, facebook.com/memoryinkers. There you go. Now you have a circle of daisies. Isn't that fun? It makes you feel kind of groovy. So here is the card that I made with that. I had taken another stamp. I actually used this one, and I just forgot to do it, and I had it on the other plate. So I won't do it because we don't have time, because I was doing it at the same time, but I had placed it like this, and when I was on the squares, I was able to do the corners because I wasn't doing the corner, if that makes sense to you. I hope so. I'll do it again on my Facebook page. So if you're not quite understanding how I just did this, I will do it again on my Facebook page. But you can see you just mat it a couple times and it makes a really cute card, right? Very groovy. All right, so there's one. Let me show you some other things that I've done with this piece right here. Here's one right here where I did it with just a bunch of leaves. And then this is one, you guys saw me do this one, I believe, last year. I made this card by using this, and all I did was it's a technique where you layer everything on top, and I just flipped it on the Stamparatus. Super easy to do. And this is one that I did in that similar manner of just flipping the cards around. Let me look at my time and see what I've got. I may come back to this so I can explain that one a little bit further to you guys. Let's see how we're doing on time, okay? All right. Okay, then last year I also showed you guys this card. What I did for this was super simple. I took the piece of paper that I was going to use for the top, and I set all of the words on it. So you just kind of lay them out in a way that you think is going to be how they're going to fit on your card. And they really will. Every single one of them will fit. It's just it takes some playing with it. And you lay them all out, and then when you're using the spots, it's very easy to go in and ink each word section. Now you'll see, if you look closely, you can see that this little, I added gems, of course. You can see that this little star here is actually in the Daffodil Delight. I just covered it when I was inking it, so it would have been upside down. I covered it while I inked everything else in the Granny Apple Green. And then I took my marker and I just colored the star. And that's how I got that gold in that one spot. But then afterward, you kind of, I'm hoping you guys can see that. After I was all done stamping, I ran it through our new embossing folder that is musical notes. And I thought it was just perfect for Christmas, right? Because we think of a lot of Christmas carols and hymns. And so I'm not showing you this one again because I did do it last year. But I wanted to remind you guys of it because I have seen it. Now, I mean, you guys have seen it. And you know, I don't want to repeat everything I've done for you guys in the past because that gets really boring. But if you want to see it, comment below, and I promise I will be doing another video on the Stamparatus where I have a little more unlimited time on my Facebook page so I can do some of these projects start to finish for you. Okay, now here is a fun card. I love doing this one. So this is with one of our brand new stamps. I'm going to switch out my papers here. This is one of our brand new stamp sets. Sorry about that. Trying to get it even. I can't think and talk and do something all at the same time. It's just asking too much of me. I'm sorry. So what I want to do is Beauty of Tomorrow. There is some amazing designer series paper with this. So I know I want this leaf on here. And then I want this awesome saying that says, the changing of the leaves reminds us that I always do this, reminds us that new wonders are just around the corner. So I don't want to think about fall just yet, but it has been a really hot summer, so maybe. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take both of these and I'm going to pick them up. And I am going to start by covering both of them. Got a little fuzzy there. Both of them with the Daffodil Delight, just completely covering them. That thing is still there. Looks like a backing of a glue dot. So I'm just covering them completely. And then I'm going to flip it over and rub it out. And now you can see it's completely yellow, and you're probably thinking, wow, that's really light, Carrie. Yes, it is. It's very light. So now I'm going to take the Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to, on the words, I'm going to do it across the top. And I'm going to just do kind of the edges of the leaves this time. Not a lot, just a little. And this is a good way to layer color until you decide how much color you want for your project. See now how it has added some fun colors. Now I'm going to take the Granny Apple Green and I'm going to add a little bit in here. I'm not I'm not cleaning in between because I'm going from lightest to darkest. And then I'm going to take the Granny Apple Green and kind of do it sort of in the center-ish area of that. And again, pressing. Okay, now I want a little bit more dark. So I'm going to run like that. And then I'm just going to try and get just some of this. I don't want a whole lot of that to be dark green. So that's with the shaded spruce. Voila. And now you've got all of this multiple colors into your words, and they sort of blend and bleed together because of the way we did the technique. Now here is, now this one looks darker. Here's my finished card, and it looks a little bit lighter because you're never going to get them the same. You'll also see that I did the little bird that is part of the stamp set, And there is a die for cutting out him and a few other things. And then I just added him up on pop dots. So fun, right? Super simple, very pretty card. If you guys like my stuff, I would love to have some likes and some hellos. I would love to know if this is the first time you've ever watched me. I wanted to show you another card that I did with that technique. I did it with just this. This is one big stamp. So it's a fun technique to use when you are working with your Stamparatus, because it gives you the great layers. You can do it in so many different colors, and it makes you look like an artist. I mean, the reason I rubber stamp, frankly, is because I am not an artist. And so I need the artisans who do these things to create the beautiful stamps and then let me play and put my own little artwork in it. Oh, thank you for all the hearts and loves. Thank you so much. Okay, let me see my time. I have 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and I'm going to show you my favorite technique. I will do the super simple one first. I'm not going to show you the whole technique because I don't want to run out of time. But this fun card, these are die cuts. So I made a template, which you guys have seen me do before, and then you can stamp into the template. So it sounds a little confusing, but I'm going to show you the idea, and then you'll understand how I did this. I hate when I'm running. I hate time limits. How many of you get these kind of things? This is from the awesome kit that actually goes with the stamp set that I just showed you a little bit ago. And I want to use this beautiful little tag. And I'm going to just be honest with you. I am not the world's greatest stamper. I make a lot of mistakes. I throw a lot of stuff out. The Stamparatus has saved me a bundle with that. So what I'm going to do is, my favorite trick is for when you get kits with labels. I want to use this really long sentiment that would fit in there. Some people are just likable, okay? There is no way I would get that straight. All right, there just isn't. I'm honest. So I'm just going to set it here on my Stamparatus. And I am going to use, I want to use a color I know is dark that I have handy. I'm going to use this gorgeous grape because I think that'll be really pretty with the gold. So I'm going to ink it up first. Now I want to put that magnet right there and hold that in place. And then I'm going to press this down. Okay, so now I know that's where it's going to stamp. So now I can take my negative, line this up where I want it, and then I can decide, am I going to put a bow here? Am I going to put some rhinestones? What am I going to do? So I can get this where I want it, grab my other magnet, hold it in place, take the label, put it back where it came from. It'll fit right in there. Now you can understand what I was talking about with the other die cuts. This is exactly what I did with the die cuts, because if I'm making a whole bunch of these, I don't want to have to keep setting it up. Die cut a bunch of stuff, bunch of labels, bunch of whatever you're going to be doing. And then press it on there. And look at that. Exactly where I wanted it. How fun is that? This saved me so much from kits, because you get these beautiful kits, and I mean, look at these labels and tags. I mean, they're so pretty, and when you mess them up, yes, you can flip them over and use the other side, but this side is not this side. So I love doing that. So hopefully when I showed you this, that made a little more sense. What I did was I made one template. I cut out a whole bunch of the pieces, and then this way, if I'm making this for Christmas cards, and if you're making a lot of the same Christmas card, you're going to be doing this over and over again. So get all of your little pieces cut. Then you can set the pieces in place, figure out where they're going to be, and then you can, when you're making the original die cut, stamp on this first. You don't have the holes yet, okay? Then you can cut out the dies, and then you can use this to position them more perfectly, because it's the same thing. Pop them into place, stamp away. So this is one of my favorite things to do with the Stamparatus. Of course, it's excellent for, you saw when I was doing the ornaments that I messed up. You know, I kept having to press over and over again, but it was okay because it was on the Stamparatus. I could just keep doing that. So, and then it came out with this really fun holiday card. Now, how many times are you really going to want to stamp this card? If you marked your sheet where this was going to sit and just put little pencil marks around here, you could keep flipping on, doing all the yellow, then clean it, and then go back and do all the greens, and then go back and do all the reds. And then using your awesome silicone sheet, you can make the beautiful inside dangly piece, which I know is hard to see on video when it's sideways. But then it's a fun card and your family will be really impressed. So here's one of the ones that I did with the label process. And I think my time is up. It is 12 o'clock. So thank you so much for watching me. I'm looking forward to seeing some of you in person in October, and of course back here in October for volume. I hope you will follow me on facebook.com/memory inkers. If you have questions, email me. Don't forget, prizes, and celebration. Have a fabulous weekend, everybody. Bye.